Hussbus bus stop.
JP Hussey here of the Hussey Team Mortgage Advisors with this week's Hussbus bus stop. Alright, let's talk seller's assist. Alright, it's starting to come back. It's been a crazy market where the sellers had all the leverage, so they don't give seller's assist or seller credits. Alright, they had it all. Alright, but now as the market's starting to soften a bit, alright, every area of the country is different, of course, but we're starting to see it. Houses are sitting a little bit longer, which means the sellers will start negotiating, okay? We're starting to see some seller's assist, seller credits, okay? So let's talk about what it actually is in very simple terms, okay? All the seller's assist is money that the seller gives the buyer out of their proceeds, okay? Out of their proceeds to help the buyer pay closing costs, all right? Now, this money cannot go towards down payment, all right, to the house, but it can go towards the closing costs such as recording fees, transfer tax, money for escrow in terms of taxes and insurance, all right, title insurance. It can go to anything but the down payment. And this is just money at closing that comes out of that seller's proceeds that go to the buyer, okay? Now, proceeds, let's do an example. Let's say at closing, the seller is going to net $100,000 in a simple vanilla transaction, all right? $100,000, but they give a $10,000 seller's assist. So the buyer's money at closing is $10,000 less, like they didn't get it, and the seller is $10,000 less as well in their proceeds. So if they were getting $100K, now it's $90K. If the buyer needed $100K at closing, now they only need $90K, all right? So it's just a simple way of just the seller giving some money to the buyer to help them close on that home, all right? Now, a couple different rules with this. On typical conventional loans, all right, if you put less than 10% down, the max seller's assist is only 3%, all right? Over 10%, 10% or more, you can go a full 6%, all right? So on a $100,000 purchase, all right, 3% is $3,000 to the buyer to help them cover some closing costs, all right? Now, FHA loans, you can go the full 6%. If it's an investment property, conventional, obviously, right? Because you can't do that with FHA. It's only 2%, all right? Second homes, vacation homes is the same as 3%, 6%, whatever it might be. VA loans, some misconceptions there. We can talk about that later, but really you can get everything covered, all right? Now, this credit can't be above what all the closing costs are as well, all right? So you can't give too much, and that's a whole detailed conversation we could have later specifically, all right? So that's really what a seller's assist is. So here's a good way of doing it. Let's say you're buying a house, all right? And the purchase price, let's say it's $200,000, all right? But you're a little short on cash, all right? You need, totally making up numbers, you need 20K. You have 20K, but you need 26,000, right? Because of all the other closing costs, all right? Remember, it can't go towards down payment, all right? So you got 6 G's right there that you don't really have, and you might need a little help from somewhere, all right? Now, you put in an offer. You go 200,000, all right? But you also want a $6,000 seller's assist, let's say, all right? The sellers balk at it. They're like, no, that's the best way to go. Go in with it, all right? See what happens. Now talk to your real estate agent. Is it the right offer? Is it going to piss off the sellers? Who knows, all right? But here's one way where it works for everyone, all right? You need 6 G's. Now, maybe you set the purchase price to $206,000, all right? So now, this is very simple terms. Specifically, we would want to look at it. But let's say now the purchase price instead of $200,000 is $206,000, all right? Now, the sellers at closing still net their $200,000, right? Because you're taking $6,000 off, all right? And that $6,000, dollar for dollar, goes to the buyer to help pay closing costs. So now it works for the most part. Now, the down payment might be a tad more because it's $200,000 versus $206,000, right? But it's really not that much when you look at it. It might be like a couple $100, right? But you're getting 6 G's to go dollar for dollar to help pay those closing costs. So that's one way that buyers try to structure it with the seller so everybody wins. Hey, if you have any questions about this, if you need a real estate agent that understands this, you want to put an offer, hit us up. Happy to help. Later.
Hussbus, bus stop.